Hi everyone, welcome to the altcoin bloodbath. I actually really enjoy these episodes when some big volatility has happened. It makes it interesting. First of all, guys, I'm releasing tomorrow's newsletter and I'm going to focus on the cash and carry trade. I'm also going to look at what we look at when we're buying an altcoin. So that's the team members, what we do look at, the tools we use as well. I think you're going to find it really, really useful. That drops tomorrow. Also, if you want to watch the full version of this video, make sure you sign up and become a newsletter subscriber by clicking the link below. I'm just going to play this short clip about the newsletter in terms of some of the testimonials we've had recently.
Our top 10 crypto portfolio with all buy and sell levels, portfolio balancing across different risk levels, future price predictions based on data, and much more. Gracie Ho said this newsletter is the best she's ever read for any industry, and she's been part of the traditional investing arena for a long time now. And Helen said it's the most comprehensive newsletter you will ever see. It's terrific. Greg said the newsletter is a must-read for any crypto investor new to the arena or a seasoned diamond hand. Everyone will benefit from this.
Right, so I just wanted to play that for you guys, not only to thank the people for the testimonials, but also just to highlight the value that we do put into this newsletter and what people do think about it. So if you're on the fence about it, get onto it. It's well worth the cost of that each month, and we do a weekly release. All right, let's get into the crypto. So I'm really interested, not so much in Bitcoin right now because it's just in no man's land, sort of jostling at that $65,000 level, and obviously it needs to hold, otherwise you go into the range lows. But what I'm noticing here is FBTC is looking really, really nice. It looks like it's creating a higher low after its previous move from that low on the approval of the ETH ETF. It's got the ETF coming on the 2nd, so I'm super interested in watching strength here and what coins are running, and just generally that theme moving forward. So if FBTC is firming, then and ETH is looking rather strong. I mean, it doesn't really look like it wants to drop much lower than that 3,300 level if you're lucky. So for me, very fascinating where ETH sits here. It's wicking into those beautiful moving averages, the 50 and the 100. And it looks like these 2 wicks here have almost confirmed a double bottom. You can be funny with those terms, but to me, it looks like what it is. On the daily chart, 2 wicks running through there. To be ultra confirmed though, I want to see just this. I want to see that range break. I want to see us back above that 10 EMA, back above that little range I've got there, confirm resistance flip into support and run into the 20, and we go from there. That's where you get a little bit more aggressive in your positioning. Right now, you don't have to do a thing. That's what I've been doing. I've been sort of buying through these levels and layering in and just thinking about the bigger picture. I mean, it was 3,800, 3,900 not long ago, and you're buying at these levels. You know the catalyst is coming. We've got some news today about SEC's dropped the case against Ethereum Foundation, and also Pantera Capital wants to buy about $100 million worth of the ETH ETF soon as it hits. So this is going to be big no matter what. And you just have to focus on where the strength is in the markets right now without getting too cute. Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe start to look at where layer 2s are at and maybe some memes. That's really where your focus needs to be. But on these big drops, there's value everywhere. But just keep the focus really, really narrow right now is my best advice for everyone. The RSI on the daily, also just a really nice trend upwards. It's not saying that we cannot get a rollover, but I like where we are just generally. We're at more extremes on Stochh RSI down on the 4 hour. It looks like we've got a nice bull divergence starting to emerge where these wicks continue to get lower. The price action is just moving into this support where it's getting bought up each time, and these are essentially in line with each other. Meanwhile, price of the RSI is making a slight higher low. So not a mega bull divergence, but there's some clear signs here that the bears are weakening. They're smashing into support, and the buys are just so big. They're just getting bought up. And as a longer term investor, these are the kind of signs you want to be looking for, just to think, okay, well, this looks like a really strong level here. I'm pretty happy moving in here. You can also run a bit of a stop underneath, buy a little bit lower. But again, it's kind of like picking pennies up on a steamroller when you're buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, really. Let's move on over to Pepe. So following a similar theme, back when the approval happened, I was kind of looking about what coins were running really, really hard in terms of the beta play. So you're trying to make more Ethereum via that move and what's outperforming. So I think Arbitrum, Matisse, Pepe were the big movers. And there were a few others outlined, I'm not naming them all. But Pepe here is just an interesting one. Since how well memes have been doing, we want to be looking at it. This is at the bottom of a channel. It came down, hit the 100 moving average, into a lot of this volume down here. It can go lower, yes. But so far, so good. But it's still one to watch. I'm not overly confident with a lot of these coins until I see some confirmation. You can just buy the falling knife, catch the falling knife, quote unquote. But there is risk in that unless you're a longer term investor and you're just happy with the value that you're getting. And in these areas, they are pretty good. But you can just wait a few more percentage points, wait to get on top of the 10, the horizontal, and maybe even a breakout. And you can buy in here. There's this buying in here. No man's land, we could be just getting a run into resistance and a further drop, which can absolutely happen here. Bitcoin could just be setting us up for the drop back down into 61, 63. And then most of these alts will see, further pain. But if FBTC is holding up really well, it could be like most of the worst of it is maybe over for alts, but they will still, drive down to test out the wicks that just went down previously. But not to the extreme. Again, just speculating here, but I'm noticing some strength here where alts are, not running, but there's a point where sellers just cannot force them down, much lower. It could go another 10% sure, but how much lower are they going to go? I think just remembering where we are in the cycle, where everything sits. You don't want to be getting too cute, and you want to be positioning for that longer term portfolio. But yeah, Pepe is very interesting to me at these levels. The RSI on the daily still has room to move to the downside. That's what gave me pause as well. We're now running back into resistance. So proof is on the bulls here to prove that they have the strength to rip through this overhead. But so far, this looks pretty good to me. And just gauging on historical moves with Pepe and F and whatnot, I like the look of it and these kind of levels. Now, danger zone here is injective, and look, everything's been so smashed that there will be a relief rally and a relief bounce. I just want to point out that some of these bigger tokens are going to have a bit more of a hard time of it, and I'm not purposely singling out INGA here, but I'm thinking of Arbitrums of the world and other big FDV tokens, so fully diluted valuation tokens with big unlocks, lots of tokens. There's still airdrops, there's still unlocks coming. So there's so many tokens now. There's a massive oversupply of tokens and just not enough money in this market right now. So a lot of these cryptos that you're looking at, you think, all right, well, it's a high market cap, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But there's not a lot of retail interest here. There's a certain amount of capital coming into the market, but there's a dilution effect happening here. So I'm just a little bit concerned with some of these, again, bigger tokens that have lost major support. I want to be waiting for confirmation before I just FOMO back in, because they could well bleed out a little bit more over time, like a time-based capitulation, which is kind of what we're seeing broadly, before we have that bounce. So I'm just looking at injective here. I actually don't mind it in terms of a risk reward. It's come down to this previous block of cluster here over December when we had the breakout. So this is an area you want to be essentially getting very, very interested, because it's come back down into this support region. But what I just want to make everyone aware is what I was talking about before, is these bounces back into resistance. We really want to see, because this is the 0.786, you can see wick. So this was support all through here. We lost it a little bit here, but we reclaimed it very, very quickly. This here, it looks like a fairly serious break. And we want to see this as almost like a deviation, where it's down into liquidity, jumps back up in here, and then, she completely rebounds and rallies. So that's what I'm looking for here. I want a confirmation back above that 0.786, which is around that $22, $23 region. Until that happens, this is on the cards. That bounce back into that resistance, and then a further bleed into more volume liquidity, which I have no doubt these will all bounce and recover. But it's just timing. Timing is everything. So I just want everyone to be a little bit cautious. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this session. Let's hope we get some grand candles this week. So have a great day. Bye-bye.